Welcome to This Explainer. We're diving right into something today that is, well, incredibly personal, but honestly, it's universally understood by so many of us. We're looking at a really powerful piece of writing called The Foundation of a Peaceful Mind. So let's just take a collective breath here as we start. If you're watching this, you might be looking for a little clarity, maybe a structured way to wrap your head around a pretty heavy topic, or honestly, just a reminder that you're not alone in how you feel. We're going to unpack the mechanics of anxiety and, more importantly, map out a real, actionable path to reclaiming your peace. Anxiety is silent. Just let that sit for a second. When we picture struggles, we usually think of loud, obvious conflicts. But our source material begins with this really profound truth. This silence, it's exactly what makes the weight of anxiety so incredibly heavy to carry. It is completely invisible. Section 1. The silent storm. So there's this massive core conflict happening. It's that feeling of smiling on the outside while fighting absolute storms on the inside. We see people putting up this perfectly happy front to the world, right? But inside, it's a total tempest. This contrast is absolutely vital to understand. As our source reminds us, mental health isn't about just being happy every single day. That's a total myth. Real mental health is about learning how to survive those really difficult, stormy days without losing your sense of self. So what is actually brewing in that storm? Well, anxiety brings 4 heavy hitters to the table: fear, relentless overthinking, chronic stress, and just paralyzing uncertainty. And when your mind is bogged down by those 4 elements, the source points out a tragic reality. Anxiety makes simple, everyday things feel impossibly difficult. Getting out of bed, making a quick phone call, answering a single email. Suddenly, they feel like climbing Mount Everest. But here's the kicker. It's not just about what anxiety adds to your plate, it's about what it takes away. Anxiety steals your sleep. It completely shatters your peace. It erodes your confidence, and man, in the darkest moments, it can even steal hope. When we understand these immense daily subtractions, it makes total sense why navigating a day with anxiety is just so exhausting. You're carrying all this extra unwanted weight while being totally drained of your essential resources. Section 2, redefining your anxiety. Okay, so the crucial point is this. If you only take away one single thing from this explainer, let it be this insight. Anxiety is a condition. It is absolutely not your identity. You are not your anxiety. It's something you're experiencing, something you're moving through, sure, but it does not define who you are at your core. Detaching your self-worth from the struggle, that's the key to moving forward. And once we untangle ourselves from that, we have to look at the timeline. Look, we live in a world that practically demands quick fixes. But as the source reminds us, healing does not happen in one day. It just doesn't. It's built on small steps, a ton of patience, dedicated self-care, and actually leaning on your support systems. You literally cannot rush this process. And acknowledging that, it actually takes so much pressure off. Section 3, Steps Toward Healing. The source lays out this incredibly practical roadmap, and it starts from the inside out. First, you've got to consciously give your mind a rest from the constant negativity and overthinking. Second, and this is a big one, reduce comparison. Everyone's journey is entirely different. Measuring your chapter 2 against someone else's chapter 20 is a total trap. Third, bring your focus back to just one day at a time rather than letting your brain panic about the whole future. And fourth, practice gratitude for the really small things. These internal shifts are what help clear the debris from the storm we talked about earlier. And those internal shifts, they naturally lead into external actions because your mind and body are deeply connected. Number 1 here, sleep properly and actively care for your physical body. 2, physically change your environment. Go outside, take a walk, breathe some fresh air, reconnect with nature. It can drastically shift your perspective. 3, break the silence. Talk to someone you trust instead of keeping the whole shebang bottled up inside. And 4, seek professional help when you need it. I want to pause right there because this roadmap directly challenges a huge societal norm. Asking for help is strength, not weakness. I'm speaking directly to you right now. If you recognize that a burden is just too heavy to carry all by yourself, reaching out a hand takes profound courage. It is literally the most proactive, powerful thing you can do for your own well-being. Section 4, your story continues. Bad days do not last forever, I promise you. Whatever struggle you are thick in the middle of right now, it is absolutely not the end of your story. It's just a really tough chapter. The storm always eventually runs out of rain. Our source offers this beautiful reminder. It says, healing begins when you decide not to give up on yourself. Because even the strongest people, the most resilient people you know, have moments where they feel completely broken. Being strong doesn't mean you never break, but healing begins the second you decide not to give up. Just the decision to keep going, to try even one of those steps we just outlined, that's the spark. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. Take care of your mind the same way you take care of your body, because a peaceful mind really is the foundation of a strong life. We spend so much time, don't we, optimizing our physical health, our careers, our daily routines, but none of that stands firm if the foundation isn't solid. A peaceful mind is the exact thing that allows you to truly experience and enjoy that strong life. So, what does this all mean for you today? I want to leave you with a question to ponder. Based on everything we just explored, what small step will you take to care for your mind today? Seriously, think about it. Will you step outside for 5 minutes of fresh air? Will you text a trusted friend? Or will you maybe just give yourself permission to rest without feeling guilty about it? The choice is entirely yours, and your healing is waiting. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep growing, and please take